initial reports that appear about any case, which as in the Arushi case or Sheena Bora case, there's carpet coverage of those events. Now this is coming from somewhere, it's coming from a prosecution or an investigation point of view. Now, much of this has to then see the light of day in a courtroom. But if you actually compare what goes on in court versus what was initially being talked about, there's a huge difference. A lot of things are simply dropped, others are by then proven false. So there is a massive gap between the story initially told and what comes to court. That's the first thing that goes wrong. With that, what you get is the creeping in of a bias on everyone's part. That bias is towards one side of the narrative. The fundamental principle that I was talking about, that of the presumption of innocence. The question in a courtroom is never, are they guilty or not? The question is, on the evidence available, can you convict them? It is never, are they innocent or not? To make gross generalizations about a whole system based on my limited exposure and understanding of it is wrong. It's irrational. I will say this, however, that it is a system that definitely allows things like Arushi to happen, because this has also happened within that system. So to that extent, can we trust it? Because what happened to the Talwars could really have happened to any of us. Actually nothing. In a lot of places, nothing. Think about the Khap Panchayats in Haryana. Think about other means in troubled areas, say like in the northeast or in Chhattisgarh. Think of the kind of justice dispensed there just by groups of people. So for us as middle class Indians, there's something about us we live in what I'd call a bubble, and our interactions with the state or the justice system are actually quite limited, quite minimal, and we try and avoid them as much as possible as well. So let's look at it this way. One of the great things about this country is that a book such as this gets published as well. So it isn't only one side of the story. For 7 years, we've had one narrative. And it's not that other people have not talked about this other side. However, it's got its focus because of media. Once again, we now know that the judge, for instance, had made up his mind and had actually started writing the judgment before defense even closed arguments. We now know that he took the help of his son, there is no judicial propriety there at all.